What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's how I do this song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to stop. I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Bird was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably up in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yala Van Zap's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have some blue thong or blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy. Hello. Hey, I listen, y'all. I'm way out of sorts. I was not ready. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I was trying to get this last good video in, upload it so that I could have that ready for y'all. Yeah, it is so much going on. It's so I couldn't even cover everything today. Listen, y'all. I could not even cover everything today. I was so busy today, so busy, so very busy, so very busy today. And then before I know it, it was time for Run Your Mouth. Well, time for me to produce Run Your Mouth, and it's the end of the month. Work is doing all of the things that work does. But we're gonna power through. The good thing about it is we ain't going out of town this week. So what that means is I got time to cover stuff. Okay. If I don't get to it today, because I'm not gonna push myself. I gotta get out of here. I have a meeting tonight. But if I can't get it done today, we still have tomorrow. And we have Friday. And we have Saturday. And we have Sunday. So since I'm not going out of town this weekend, that gives me a lot of things, that I can do. So that gives me a lot of, real estate to work with. Anyway, welcome to Run Your Mouth. I am L Teddy 27, here to bring you all of the news and updates and stories and politics that has been happening while you was down to the workplace, down to the job, the job, the 9 to 5, your career of choice, your usual avocation. Here for all of that. I hope you all enjoyed today. While you're coming in, go ahead, click the like button. Help a brother out. Get us into the algorithm. And so other people can come here and take advantage of this great content that we have here so that we can, do all of the things that we need to do. All right. Let me say hey to y'all and then we'll get this party started. Um, First up, we have Brown Mama. She has her face in the place. You are first. Hey, the inform, what's going on, sir? There go my boo. Hey, Tanya Boo. What's going on? Crazy homebody girl, how the hell are ya? Shot was watching in the bushes yesterday because I was getting my phone fixed. Okay, girl, you all right over here. Demetria, hey, my love. How are you today, my queen? You all right, Demetria? There go my Haitian princess, my fellow Miamian universal goddess. Say, my love. Hey, Savon, what's up? Tamara, how are you today? Chandelierium is right. What's going on, Jason? What's good, bruh? Hey, Catherine Powell. Catherine, y'all be having a lot going on down to the beef sector. I'm not going to engage those people. They can mention my name from now until Jesus come back. I'm not going to engage those people. Catherine Powell. Not. Hey, Candace F. What is going on? Hey, it's Honesty. You all right today? You all right? We're glad to have you. Sit back, relax, have a good time. Felicia, what's going on, boo? You good over there? Ravine is here. Hey, Ravine. Terrence, what is good on the West Coast? My Cali guy. What's going on? What's good, bro? You all right over there? Don't let them work you too hard, Terrence. Do not let the people work you too hard. Okay. Janae, how are you, beautiful? You all right today? Hey, Jeannie. Hey, friend. Tarshell, how the hell are you? Montrez, what is good, bro? What is up down to the VA? You all right over there? Child, ain't it always crazy at the end of the month, child? Symmetry, my devastating diva, Symmetry. You all right over there? Hey, Terry. Terry, you good tonight? Child, we always busy, Ravine. We just have busy days, honey. Busy days. Terry, it's good to see you, my love. Hey, Lock Queen. I saw you over there in the chat down to Mother's when Mother was announcing the cruise for next year. I'll be at that cruise as well. I'll be at the cruise with us or in February. I'll be at Mother's cruise as well. Because that's what we do around these parts. I did get your text. I gotta see what my schedule looks like Saturday, but I did get your text. I'll let you know tomorrow whether or not I can come through. I did get your text though, Tanya. I did. She had orientation at school today. You had to check. Well, let her know. Child, check them. Not that you had to check a MAGA bitch and the child she farted out. Hey, Morgan, what's going on, my love? It's your daughter's 18th birthday. Well, kiss the little princess. Kiss our niece for us and tell her we said happy birthday. And we love her around here. Y'all go out and celebrate that beautiful young lady and show her a good time. Child. Baby, I don't even have it to do, honey. Catherine Powell. Hey, Tracy C, what's going on, sweetheart? Magical Mermaid, you all right over there? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You all right over there, magical mermaid? Are you all right? Child. Right. We're going to need to increase our vacation budget for next year. Mm-hmm. Child, I got about 3 myself next year. All in 2026 next year myself. Tracy C, baby, I gotta go put this good work in, baby. The way I gotta go shake this ass, honey, for to pay for all these cruises, honey. I got about 3 or 4. I know 3 definite I have next year. And I may have a 4th one. So, girl, it's a lot, Tracy. They're asking a lot of us. It's hump day. You been humping around? Paul? Paul, you and Trey been over there humping around? Child. Hey, Paul. Child, you getting ready for the sugar spike? Well, it's about that time. Hey, grown woman, don't try me. Mm. Mm. Child. Anyway, y'all, we ready to get this party started. If you are ready for me to get this show on the road, go ahead and put a shondo in the chat and let me know that you're ready for me to get this show on the road. Why people always texting and calling and everything while I'm live? God of mercy, God of love. Ciao. Anyway, hey Tracy W. I'm being productive too. Mommy and the hubby got me on the schedule going through paperwork. We got well, listen, it looks like the people are ready to get this party started. Hey, Jay Parrish, what's going on? Child, I know the muscles hurting today. I know the muscles hurting, Catherine Powell. I know they hurting, honey. Anyway, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender-conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the late, great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world. I want to fight. That he gave. His only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus!
I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Thank you, Larry. We start off our Sugar Spike segment today with some infighting from the Democrats. The Dems are once again infighting. I don't know what y'all fighting for. Y'all seem to have more smoke for each other than y'all do for the opposition. Y'all seem to get a lot more animated and passionate with each other than y'all do with the goddamn opposition. Hey, Sharice Boo. Hey, G baby, who baby? Child. Listen. Hero. Hey. Now listen. Let me get this. Let me break this down for y'all. Let me read this to y'all, and then we can go from there. Because these people are really like I said, they got more smoke for each other than they do for the op. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat of New Jersey, blew up at fellow Democratic senators Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada and Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota in a heated back and forth on the Senate floor yesterday, accusing both members of his party of being, quote, willing to be complicit, end of quote, with Donald John. He said, while on the floor, he said, quote, "This to me is a problem with Democrats in America right now. This to me is a problem with the Democrats in America right now. We're willing to be complicit to Donald Trump, end of quote. Now, Booker, he's doing a lot of antics, as you all know, because he's trying to chum up to to the press and get on television as much as he can, because the people are saying that he wants to run for president in 2028. But he was arguing that the Democrats should use their leverage over proposals to boost funding for police to get Trump to release his hold on funding for Democratic states such as New Jersey, New York, and California. He said the Democratic Party needs a wake-up call, and that some colleagues who are elected to defend the Constitution in Washington are willing to, quote, look the other way, end of quote, and let some blue states suffer as long as their states don't get dinged as well. The fireworks erupted after Cortez Masto tried to move a package of bills, including grants for police departments around the country, by unanimous consent on the Senate floor. Booker objected to moving the package because he said the police grants would not go to his home state of New Jersey, nor to New York, California, or Illinois, because Trump has frozen funding to the predominantly Democratic states. He questioned Democratic colleagues for pushing the package when, quote, when we have all the leverage right now. Don't be complicit to the president of the United States. We are standing at a moment where our president is eviscerating the Constitution of the United States of America, and we're willing to go along with that, end of quote, he said. He went on to say, quote, no, not on my watch. I have to stand against this. It is a violation of our Constitution for the President of the United States to ignore the will of Congress and decide which states are eligible for grants and which are not. End of quote. Now, this comes on the heels of Donald John signing an executive order freezing all federal funding related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And subsequently, he said he froze all funds going to New Jersey, Illinois, California, New York, to name a few blue states that he is freezing all funding for, because he says that they violate his executive order. Now, New York Attorney General Letitia James led a coalition of 22 attorneys general in filing motions to oppose what they call Trump's reckless and illegal funding freeze. Now, this infighting that they had, it grew heated. It got heated. Senator Klobuchar got up and pointed out that Cory Booker has previously objected to her policing legislation even before Trump was in office. She said basically it ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Here's the actual quote. She said, quote, I will note that Senator Booker objected to my police reauthorization bill, the Clinton cops funding, long before Donald Trump came into office. So this is not just about this. This is a long dispute over this type of funding. End of quote, she argued on the floor. She noted the bills all passed out of the Judiciary Committee weeks ago. Then she took a little jab at Cory for missing the meeting at which the bills were marked up and passed out of committee, adding, quote, I can't help it if someone couldn't change their schedule to be there. End of quote. Cory Booker then got up and said, quote, this is what frustrates me. I passed numerous pieces of legislation for our police officers. I don't need lectures on the urgency of this. End of quote. He then went on to point out that one of his best friends is a police officer in a small town in New Jersey, and that he died by suicide after a hard day's work. He then went on a tirade. Oh, Miss Cory wasn't done yet. Mama had smoke. Mama then got up
And that's when she went on this long rant. He said, quote, "This is a call, folks. This is a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president, not caring about the larger principles of free speech rights that say you can take on any client. Why are you bending the knee? I see universities that should be bastions of free speech bending to the knee of this president. I see businesses taking late night talk show hosts off the air because they dare to insult a president. I see people who want mergers suddenly think that they have to pay tribute to the president." End of quote. Mama went on a whole little tirade. He had it. He said he was done with this. Then he wasn't finished yet. He took another shot at fellow Democrats trying to move money for police grants, knowing that Donald John had frozen grants from going to Democratic states such as Connecticut, New York, and Illinois. He then went on to say, because he had time yesterday, he said, quote, "What are the very people here elected to defend the Constitution of the United States saying? Oh, well, today let's look the other way and pass some resources that won't go to Connecticut, that won't go to Illinois, that won't go to New York, that will go to states the president likes." That is complicity with the totalitarian leader. It is time for us to fight and draw the lines. End of quote. Now, Senator Cortez Masto, she said, oh, bitch, you're not just gonna call me out and think I ain't gonna have nothing to say. So she hopped up and she had something to say. When she Now this was after she had left because she had that kind of smoke on the floor. This was after she walked out of the chambers. And they had asked her if she thought Cory Booker was out of line. And she noted that Miss Corisha objected to that the bills Miss Corisha objected to were passed out of Judiciary Committee, on which he sits, and it was passed with strong bipartisan support. She went on to say, quote, he didn't object to them. He had the opportunity then to submit any type of amendment. He didn't. And then he submits this amendment at the last minute. It clearly was what he was trying to do, is kill all these bills. And it's unfortunate because these are bills that support law enforcement. End of quote, she said. She went on to say, I don't know why he's opposing these bills, because they quote the tools they give police the tools they need in all of our communities to keep our communities safe. That's quite honestly where Democrats need to be, supporting law enforcement, keeping our communities safe. I was disappointed in some of the rhetoric he used in challenging Democrats for not doing enough to take on Donald Trump. End of quote. These girls are out here windmilling. They in these streets windmilling. They are in these streets windmilling, but they windmilling against each other. Hey, L and V boo. They got all this smoke for each other. No smoke for the now. Is parts of what Corey said true? Sure, I'm with you. But Corey, you gotta read the room. Know who you're in bed with. You're in bed with fucking middle of the road establishment Dems in the Senate who don't give a damn about the American public. Let's be clear. Don't give a damn. And if you're gonna stand on business, like this woman said, baby, these like Klobuchar said, baby, this shit was already before Donald John was even in office. We've been doing this for a long time. Baby, where were you when we did this in committee? The committee that you're on, because you're bringing this up now, because you're trying to grandstand. If anything, Corey, I agree with both. Two things can be true, honey. I agree with Klobuchar, baby. Where was this energy before? And if you're opposing police bills, which I'm okay with, I am okay with opposing bills to continue to fund domestic military, the domestic military called the police. I'm okay with you not doing that. But why don't you bring up the fact that we haven't had a police reform bill make it to Congress? Oh, you don't want to bring that up because that was supposed to be done during the Biden administration when y'all had control of the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. Y'all had control of all three, and y'all ain't passed no police reform bill. And now all of a sudden, you got all this energy about policing, right? Hey, Simera. Hey, Cherise. Miss Corisha, we know what you're trying to do. You're grandstanding because you want to try and run for make a run in 2028. Baby, you don't have an Ice Cube's chance in hell at the nomination booth. It ain't gonna happen. The far left leaning progressives, baby, we don't want no parts of you. We already see you for your fuck shit. You are Apex. You're in bed with APAC. You're in bed with Big Pharma. You're in bed with a whole bunch of people who we don't like over here on the far left. So don't look for us. The people down to the middle of the road establishment, centrist Dems, they don't like your punk ass either. They just don't. You're not that girl. You just are not. You've bent the knee to the establishment Dems so long, and now all of a sudden you want to try to stand up to them? Girl, it ain't working. It ain't working. Oh, it ain't working. Girl, nobody buys you, Corey. You could go over there and blow V8, all of that about, just blathering about. Nobody ain't buying you, girl. Girl. Now, I do agree with parts of what he said. Dems need to stand on business and vote no to everything. I don't give a shit what it is. Vote no on everything because, like he said, if you're telling me you're voting to approve money, but the president has already said he's not going to give money to blue states. And let's be clear, Senator Cortez Masto and Senator Klobuchar, the Democratic Party is funded by blue states. You need those states and the money that they give to the Democratic Party so that you could win in your own states. But that doesn't matter to you all. Long as it, like he said, long as it ain't y'all state, y'all don't care. Cortez Masto, you over there in Nevada, you like, girl, that ain't my problem. Senator Klobuchar, you over there in Minnesota, you like, girl, that ain't my problem. Y'all worry about that over there in the blue states where y'all ain't getting no money. Y'all can't have it both ways. I'm just saying. We already know the Democratic Party ain't shit. They ain't shit. Ain't. We got to move on. We don't have time for y'all weak ass. You know, when the Dems get out there fighting with each other, they really be windmilling. They really be like, oh, stop it. Stop it. Oh, stop it. That's how they be fighting over that. Stop it. No. No. Stop it. Ah! That's how they be fighting over that. Girl. Hey, girl. Child. Dems, go with God. We ain't got this type of time. In more establishment Dem news, Kamala says she ain't running for governor of California. Baby, she says she ain't got the type of time. Now, there's rumor that Kamala is going to also put her name in the ring for 2028. But she's on record and said, baby, I'm not running for California. I mean, I don't blame her. The California gubernatorial election is next year. And if I've already been vice president, why would I go back down and become a governor? Girl, no, ma'am. That's just like Andrew Cuomo, who is the governor of the whole state, then going down and saying, well, I guess I'll be the mayor of the city of New York. Like, girl, child. I mean, she put out a statement saying, quote, in recent months, I have given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. I love this state, its people, and its promise. It is my home. But after deep reflection, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election, end of quote. Listen, listen, Kamala, I don't know why you're being bothered with these people. You need to go do like Dick Cheney, do like Al Gore, go make millions of dollars in speaking engagements and have none of the problems, none of the frustration, none of the stress of having to be president, vice president, governor, no more political offices. Baby, you still young enough, Kamala. Well, how old is Kamala? She about 60 or 61, right? Somewhere around there. Baby, you are about 25. Maybe if you push it 30 more years, girl. Girl, go out and live out your best life, honey. And not be bothered. Collect your paycheck. They are going, baby. You could go and get millions of dollars for each time you touch foot somewhere to give a speech, or have a speaking engagement, and that way you ain't got to deal with none of the stress, none of the sleepless nights, pressure. Baby, I wouldn't be bothered with these people. I wouldn't run for a goddamn thing from here on out. I'm just saying. Baby, y'all didn't want me, then don't look for me no more. I gave it a run. I went out there. Y'all wanted me to run. I ran. Shit ain't go like we wanted. Baby, I ain't got nothing else. I ain't going back out there. No, no, ma'am. No God. No, ma'am. No God. We ain't going back out there. Ain't. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Mm-mm. Right. She has a right to be mad, which is why if I'm her, baby, listen, I ain't got nothing for you. Girl, I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing. Demetria said one of her attorneys used to write speeches for Al Gore. Baby Kamala, go ahead. Live your best life. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Let's get to this situation down to the Texas, okay? Put a 27 in the chat if you live in the great state of Texas, because we do need to break this down. We do need to break this down. Please, I need to see all my Texans out there. Who lives in the great state of Texas, or as y'all like to call it, the country of Texas? I'm just saying. Okay, Jeannie says she in Texas. Okay. So we only got one Texan in the building today. All right. Well, Texas, you know that they are out here redrawing maps. The map is out. Here's the new map. Let me move the banner out the way so y'all can see the whole map. So there's the new map. Hopefully y'all can see that. It may be hard to see. I'm looking at it. It's hard to see on my screen. So I know it may be hard to see on your screen. But that's the new map. Well, that's the proposed map. Okay. Now, of course, they have magically found 5 new Republican districts, and which means that they're losing 5 Democrat blue districts. It's hard to see how it is now versus how it was before with this map. There are some maps out there where you can see it, a Crazy Homebody Girl, but just know there are 5 less blue districts, okay? It looks like a sea of red. You have a dot up here. You have a dot up here in the Dallas area. Then you have another dot down here in the Houston area. There's a dot in the San Antonio area, and then there's a dot in El Paso area. Those are the blue dots, okay? Now, not Kamala, I'm thinking about Kamala. Jasmine Crockett had a lot to say about it. It's a little lengthy video, but I'm gonna let her air it all out. We're gonna let you talk. I know the video is kind of long. We're gonna watch the whole video, okay? Get over it, y'all. We watching the whole video, okay? Get over it. But Jasmine had some things to say about it, down to the tickety talk, and I found the video. Here's the video.
Hey y'all, so I just wanted to jump on to update you. I am working. Unfortunately, so I am headed to a meeting in a second, but I could not get on and tell y'all that Texas did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Somehow these maps that they did not know if they should draw new ones or not, somehow they magically appeared basically 2 days after they finished all those hearings. So we had all those hearings where people could come out and talk, but they didn't have a map. And all of a sudden, they do. Nevertheless, these are the next steps. So I know you're probably tired and you're probably over it. But one thing that they want to do is they want to exhaust us. And I want us to dig deep and show them even more energy than they could have ever imagined coming from us being we the people. So what I need you to do is take notice of the fact that there is going to be a hearing finally on the maps. Now, as of now, there's only one hearing that is set, and it's my understanding that they're only going to do one hearing, and they're going to do that hearing in Austin. Now, it won't be a 5-hour limit, it'll be a 10-hour limit. But considering the fact that they jacked up this map like throughout the entirety of the state, I think it's important to point that out, because not everyone who is impacted by this is, number one, going to have an opportunity to get all the way to the state's capital. But most people probably won't even know because they are rushing this through. So, number one, they're going to have a hearing. It's going to be Friday in Austin, 10 a.m. If you live in the current makeup of Texas 30, just know I am going to get transportation for any and everyone who wants to go to Austin. So we will post the details soon. But as of now, you can look right here. And these are the details as relates to the hearing. Hearing will start at 10 a.m. Buses will probably roll in time to make sure that we can get you there, make sure we can have proper amount of stops for everybody, that kind of stuff. If you want to sign up, again, this is Texas 30. If you want to sign up, then click right here and you can sign up. We will make sure that we contact you via cell phone, via email. You can also share this with your neighbors if your neighbors are unaware. I want to make sure you are not left out of the process. I'm going to be brutally honest with you and tell you that I currently don't live in the CD30 that they created. I don't. That's not where I live. Now, they asked us where we live because they are supposed to take that into consideration. And these are some of the things that the court will look at when they're trying to determine whether or not there were problems with creating the maps as incumbents and where they live. And they moved me out of my district. Yeah, they completely changed the makeup of Texas 30. It's really awful. So we'll have to have some conversations about what that looks like. Just so you know, the rules when you are running for Congress on the federal level is that you don't have to live in the district to run for the seat. But the question will be, what do my constituents say? What do they want? So we're going to have some real conversations, because I live in one part of my district, and then the other part of my district that kept the number, I don't live in that part. So definitely going to have some town halls and get it figured out. So I don't know. In fact, no member of Congress lives in the new configuration of 30. And then I live in a configuration of 33. And the current incumbent for 33, Mark Vesey, does not live in his district. So it is a hot mess. And it is so sad that these people have no integrity and could care less about doing what's right. It truly breaks my heart to have people sign up, run for office, say that they want to help their communities, and they're doing everything to hurt communities. By the time you're elected, it's not a Democratic rep. My official title is U.S. rep. The official title that you have as a Texas state representative or a Texas state senator is just that, Texas. Texas comes first for a reason. So it's very disheartening that these are the people that are in control. But I believe in us. And I think that it is time for us to give some Ann Richards type of energy, some LBJ energy. It is time for the greats of Texas, like the roots of Texas, like we are the state that actually brought the country Roe v. Wade. It is time for us to rise. So we've got a lot of work to do. But as of right now, make sure you get signed up if you want to take the bus with us to Austin, okay? See you soon.
So I would tell you that if you live in the great state of Texas, go pull up some maps. Just Google new Texas congressional map, and it will give you some insight as to what it looks like in your respective areas. You need to look because your voting district may have changed. Like she said, you could have been in District 30, like she thought, like she's the representative of, and now you're in a whole nother district. And what they're trying to do is they're definitely coming for Jasmine's throat. And she knows that, which is why when they drew this map, they drew her outside of the current district with which she holds. So as to and what they're trying to do is they're trying to force current sitting Democrat representatives in a face-off against other seated current Democratic members. You see a lot of that in the Houston area, the redistricting and the maps in the Houston area. You see that happening there, where instead of you having 2 or 3 blue Democratic representatives, they have all of those people now living in one district and are trying to force them to cancel each other out and just have 1 instead of 3. So that's what we're having. Now, why is this important? You may be saying, El Teddy, I don't live in Texas, so I don't give a shit. Well, my friend, you know how this stuff goes. Texas always leads the way. Texas always gets the party started. And what happens is everybody else says, well, it worked for Texas. We might as well go ahead and get some too. So we're going through this and we're watching this in real time as this happens to Texas. But understand, you may be in a red state like Texas, and you may be in a blue area in that red state. And that red state may say, let's do some redistricting. Let's make it where we dilute these blue districts so that there are less Democratic representatives. Now, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Maryland, where you at, Maryland? Illinois, where are you? California, all of the New York, just New York people. Y'all get somebody else to do it. Y'all always get redistricting wrong, New York. Get somebody to help y'all with this, okay? But all of these blue states that that are out there, New Jersey, even states like Minnesota and Wisconsin that are traditionally purple states, y'all can redistrict and get you some extra blue seats. States like Michigan that are purple, y'all can redistrict and get a few extra blue seats. Even states like Pennsylvania, go ahead and do some redistricting. Get a couple extra blue seats. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Fuck all of decorum. Fuck the rules of order. Fuck all of that. They don't care. The rules of engagement, the rules of order have been gone. They died on January 20th. We had to repass it all. Fuck all of that regular business as usual shit. They ain't playing fair, and we don't need to play fair either. I'm sorry. Because you out here trying to play fair, they're over there cheating, and you getting your ass handed to you. You know what it's like? It's like somebody saying, well, we in this boxing match, right? And you get in the ring with the other person and you got, your boxing gloves on and you got, your fist up and everything ready to box. This other person said, bitch, I ain't boxing. I'm doing MMA. And you start getting roundhouse kicked and all kinds of shit. They flipping you and throwing you to the ground and all of that, doing jujitsu and Roman style Greek Roman wrestling. And you over there still with your fist up talking about, I thought this was a boxing match. And you over there trying to box. And they in the whole MMA fight and you getting your ass handed to you. You get bloody and you still here screaming, but I'm gonna stick to the rules that they told me. I'm gonna stick to this boxing because that's what we're supposed to be doing. Bitch, we ain't boxing no more. It's fucking MMA. Them boxing rules, you can throw that shit out the window. The ref ain't stop. You notice the ref haven't stopped this shit. The ref has not stopped the fight, which means the ref is okay with us doing MMA. And who's the referee in this case? The fucking Supreme Court. Supreme Court is supposed to be the referee, right? And the ref is on the MMA person's side. If the ref looking at you like, bro, what you looking at me for? He doing MMA. You better do something. I don't know what to tell you. It all looks fine to me. Stop boxing, and we're in a fucking MMA match. Boxing went out with the 70s and 80s and maybe 90s. Baby, this is the 21st century. They're not watching boxing no more. We ain't doing boxing no more. We're doing fucking MMA. And if you can't get with the times and go out there and be brutal and cutthroat and understand that this is MMA now and we ain't in this boxing shit no more, then you're going to lose every time. Because the ref looking at you like, bruh, did you not get the memo? We're not boxing anymore. This is MMA. When you get your ass whooped, I ain't got nothing for you. That is literally, and that analogy just literally came in my head. That literally describes exactly what's happening between the Dems and the Republicans. Dems over here still thinking this the 20th century. And we boxing out here. And the Republicans that already flipped the switch. We're in the 21st century. We don't do boxing no more. Nobody watch that shit. It don't make money. Baby, we over here MMA style. That's where all the money at. That's what we doing. And the referees done went and said, yeah, we not doing boxing no more. We're in MMA. And stupid ass Dems over there still trying to box. I'm just saying. This is what we got going on. I'm just saying. But that's the best way that I can describe literally what we got going on. Texas, like she said, they have they're going to have a meeting tomorrow where they will discuss this new congressional map. And if you are concerned, and you got some time, go over there and do it. Otherwise, make sure you're calling your local or your state representatives and your congressmen as well. So that you can be about the business of action, because this is happening and I can see it happening all over the place. What's so funny is, Demetria, I could see Alabama trying it again with Texas being with the South Carolina Supreme Court hearing. Decision, because remember the South Carolina decision came after the Alabama decision. So they had the Alabama decision. That's how Shamari Figures got in there, even though he be having some questionable voting. But that's how Shamari Figures got in there. So you had that decision. Shamari Figures gets in there, gets a district. But after that, the Supreme Court went even more rogue and further right. And the South Carolina decision came, and they allowed the South Carolina gerrymandered map to stay, saying that it's okay to gerrymander a map based on political party lines. And so now that's what Texas is doing. Because remember, in the South Carolina people were saying this is a racist map gerrymandered based on race. That's what the Dems were saying. The Republican Party said, oh, no, we didn't do it based on race. We did it on our political party lines. And the Supreme Court says, well, it's kind of hard for you to say they did it actually based on race when it was just gerrymandered on party lines. And we're okay based on party lines. The Dems said, but the party lines are racial. And the Supreme Court was like, but yeah, you can't always say that. So now all the state has to do is say, oh, we're gerrymandering this based on political party. It's not based on races, on race. So that's why I'm saying, Demetria, I could see states like Alabama that were told no before try it again and do it. And we have unprecedented times where we're redistricting in the middle of the decade. Usually redistricting happens after the census. We're redistricting in 2025, right in the middle of the decade. So that means they don't give a damn about rules of engagement. Hey, Ronald. I'm going to see if I can pull the clip. I'm going to see if I can pull the clip. Ronald, thank you for that suggestion. Now, if one of my trusty hall monitors or trusty pupils can do it for me, that would do me a solid too. Because I might forget. And I know I'm not going to say it again like I just said it. Anyway, that's Texas, y'all. We got to move on. In other sugar spiky news, a Virginia city councilman was set on fire. Oh, yes. This is for real. A city councilman in Virginia was seriously injured yesterday when a man stormed into his office at a local magazine, doused him in gasoline, and set him on fire. An attack that authorities say was rooted in a personal dispute, not politics. Lee Vogler, 38, who has served on the Danville City Council for more than a decade, that's him on the right in the blue suit, was flown to a burn unit in North Carolina following the attack. Police said the assailant, 29-year-old Shotzi Michael Buck Hayes, which you see on the left, forced his way into Vogler's office at Showcase Magazine, confronted him, then chased him outside and set him ablaze. Hayes was arrested at the scene on charges of attempted first-degree murder and aggravated malicious wounding. Investigators stressed that the motive appeared personal and unrelated to Vogler's work as a public official. Still, the assault added to the growing unease over violence and harassment aimed at local elected officials across the country, particularly as the boundaries blur between their public roles and private roles. Andrew Scott Brooks, publisher of the magazine, said, quote, Lee is fighting for his life. There's no excuse for violence, no matter the circumstances. End of quote. 2 employees were in the building when the attack occurred. According to police and witnesses, Vogler ran through the office yelling for help after being doused in gasoline. A colleague called for help as Hayes allegedly chased Vogler outside and ignited the fire. Now the editor of the magazine, the publisher, of the magazine, Mr. Brooks, he said, quote, our door is locked. They forced their way into the office and went to Lee. The next thing, Lee is running through the office covered in gasoline, yelling for our office mate to call 911, end of quote. Vogler was taken to a burn unit at a hospital in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and his condition wasn't immediately known. Vogler's father, Jack Vogler Sr., said that the UNC Health declined was declining to comment on his whereabouts and that on his condition, and that he would not be commenting on Lee Vogler's condition either. The assailant, Mr. Hayes, was being held without bond in the Danville City Jail. A message left with a phone number listed for the suspect wasn't immediately returned. Listen, y'all. Now I hate it for Mr. Vogler, okay? Let me get this part out the way, and then I'll get to the bigger story. The more immediate story is the fact that they're saying that this was a personal matter and had nothing to do with his office. Y'all know how this is, where I'm going with this, right? The fact that they're saying that this is a personal matter and not having anything to do with his office sounds to me like they might have been in a situationship. I don't know. They might have been in a entanglement, right? Domestic violence, DPG, thank you. Something like this sounds like something between them. They may have been intimate. They might have been, right, fraternization. There was some goings on. Mr. Hayes said, I will not be ignored. You know what I'm saying? And rolled up in this man's job. Now, even though Lee Vogler is a member of the city council, he works for that magazine. That's his 9 to 5. He works for that magazine, and he was at work. And you see the assailant that you see on the left, he has Lee Vogler shirt on. He got Lee Vogler, door tags and stuff. So he was working on Lee Vogler's campaign. Seemed like him and Lee Vogler were very acquainted. So it sounds like a little something went on. Mr. Hayes said, I would not be ignored. And went straight white woman on his ass and rolled up in there, threw the gasoline on him, and set him ablaze. Now, my thing about it is this. He does have the Glenn Close haircut. You're right. My thing about it is this. I agree, based on what's been going on in this country with politicians and public officials, somebody got to do something. Because if you can easily roll up on an elected official like that and set this man on fire, you got the man up there in Minnesota rolling up on state senators and state congressmen and shooting them to death. I'm just saying. No, you know the white people, they don't do hot grits. They don't do hot grits. No, they don't do hot grits. But yeah, those are two different people. They're not the same. Those are two different people. Terrence said he thought it was the same person. It's not Terrence. And I don't mean to laugh because the man is in, I'm probably sure, some kind of critical condition. The man had to be flown. He had to be airlifted to a burn unit in a whole nother state. Now, I don't know what part of Virginia Danville is in. Somebody in Virginia. Where's Montrez or one of my Virginians? What part of Virginia is Danville? Is it like in Southern Virginia, close to North Carolina? And that's why they flew him down to North Carolina. I'm just trying to figure out why they didn't fly him nowhere in Virginia and they flew him down to it's near North Carolina. Okay, thank you, Simera. It's down on the southern part of Virginia near North Carolina. Okay. Hey, Miss Shorty Bean. Oh, so it's real south. Okay, got you. Well, listen, we're praying for a speedy recovery, Mr. Vogler. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Miss Baythang. Okay, so it's near the North Carolina Virginia border. Okay, thank you. But we're praying that you have a speedy recovery, Mr. Vogler, because I don't listen, baby, listen. If you douse me with gasoline, baby, I'm not gonna give you a chance to just set me on fire. Cause the way we finna do this bear hug, if I'm gonna get burnt, baby, we getting burnt together. Oh, you dousing me? I'm not just gonna run through the office and run outside, call 911. Baby, you douse me with gasoline. Oh, baby, we finna be bear hugging, okay? Rolling on the ground. Because if you gonna burn me, bitch, you gonna burn too. If I gotta burn, bitch, you finna burn too. The way we finna do this whole bear hug, that might have been what caused this. Y'all been rolling around in the hay, bear hugging and wrestling, and that's how y'all got to this point, wrestling. Shout out to all the people that's gonna do some wrestling tonight. Shout out to the people that's gonna do. I did some wrestling last night, y'all. It was not with 4 for 4. But I did some wrestling last night. Anyway, we're praying for you, Mr. Vogler. That's all we got. So, yep, it happened. The Senate confirmed. Emil Bovee, former personal attorney for Donald John, to a lifetime appointment. A lifetime appointment on the federal appeals court. Here we are. The same man who has already been noted that he told members of the Department of Justice legal teams that they should willfully violate court orders. A man that wants no parts of the Trump administration having to follow the Constitution or any laws. Now you put him in a lifetime appointment where he gets to decide whether or not this administration and future generations have violated the law. This is what your Congress is doing if you need them. We're here, y'all. This is the authoritarian government that we have elected. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. Let me move on before I vomit here. This is just my update. We still have no public officials. Now, I've seen more news outlets start to cover what's going on with Chris Smalls, Now we covered this yesterday, and I'm going to stay on this story. Chris Smalls was detained and assaulted by the IDF, by the Israeli Defense Force. This is an American citizen. He was the only black man on the Freedom Flotilla Coalition boat, the Handala. Where are the Democratic senators and representatives? Where is the CDC? While you arguing with Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, while you're arguing with Catherine Cortez Masto, where is the smoke for the fact that a black man was detained and assaulted by the Israeli Defense Forces, by the IDF, the Israeli military, an American fucking citizen? He's the only black man on here. They did not assault any other person on the boat. No one else was assaulted except for him. Just so you can be reminded, he was assaulted by 7 uniformed individuals. They choked him, kicked him in the legs, and left him with visible signs of violence on his neck and back. Where is the outrage? The people were going there to deliver food, baby formula, diapers, and medicine. Even if you don't have any energy for trying to speak out against the starvation, the genocide, the war crimes going on over there, where is the energy for the fact that Israel is assaulting American citizens? I ask again, Democratic Party, y'all over there infighting, where is the fucking smoke for the fact that Israel is now sending their military to not only kill women, children, men, the elderly over in Gaza? Now they're assaulting American citizens, and y'all have no smoke for that. Nothing to say, because that would mess up the bag. Right, Cory Booker, who takes money from AIPAC? Right, Hakeem Jeffries, who takes money from AIPAC? Right, Representative Meeks of New York, who takes money from AIPAC? Why am I mentioning them? Because you're black men, and you're a part of Congress. And I ain't heard you bitches say a fuck thing about this. And it's because you're in bed with Israel via AIPAC. You all might as well be foreign adversaries. You all might as well be foreign adversaries, because you don't give a damn about the American people. You care about the money flowing into your coffers. That's it. And you got a black man out here that was assaulted by the fucking Israeli government, and you bitches are silent over here. But y'all over here trying to have moments, press ops and shit. Where the fuck is the energy? CDC, where the fuck are y'all at? Because y'all seem real quiet, CDC. What happened to the CDC that we all grew up with? The CDC that was filled with members of Congress who had a pair of fucking balls. The members of the CDC that was allegedly, because the CDC is allegedly the conscience of America. Where the fuck is the fucking conscience? Where's the outcry? Where's the black community? Why isn't this all over all over the place on my timelines with black people? Why aren't we screaming from the rooftops about the fact that this black man who fought for the rights of other people, black, white, blue, and purple, by saying that Amazon could not be running a sweatshop anymore in this country. And he fought to get a union over there at Amazon because they had a fucking sweatshop going on in this country, mainly with black and brown bodies. And he's over here doing the Lord's work, right? They're over here delivering food, baby formula, medicine, diapers. And you all have allowed yourself to be debased so far that you give a blind eye to anything Bibi Netanyahu and the Israeli government does. And now we had an American citizen that was killed in the West Bank while IDF stood there and watched and stopped first responders from assisting him and keeping him alive. Now we have a black man that's going there to provide for an aid, and he has been assaulted, detained, and assaulted. Only one on the boat assaulted, and we know why he was the only one on the boat assaulted, because he's the only one on the boat that has black skin. We're gonna call it what it is. We're not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. Where is the outrage? Where is the outcry? I forgot y'all are so busy telling black people we don't have nothing to worry about. This ain't our fight. Let the Gazans die. Let the Palestinians die. This ain't shit we need to worry about. It don't matter because we black and we don't give a shit about no other group of people. Right? Oh, because we went and voted in November, and because we had to go vote, that was too much for us, and now we're checked out for the next 4 fucking years because it was too exhaustive and too tiring to go out and fucking vote. I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck we are. Where's the outcry? They're going to be killing us. And we're over here radio silent because we're picking fights and saying we don't see the humanity in anybody unless they have the requisite amount of melanin. Is that how we feel? Because if that's the case, we're no better than the white people descended from the Caucasus Mountains that say we don't like people with too much melanin. So now it's the whole, well, they ain't of the right persuasion. They ain't got enough melanin. We don't care about them. So we that ain't our fight. Let them fight it out. That's where we are. I'm just trying to understand what we're doing here. Let me take a breath. Where's Larry? Because I'm spiking. Larry, I'm spiking.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So love the world, I want to fight. That he gave, his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
I wish somebody help me.
Okay, I'm back. I think I've calmed down. I was spiking out. Let me get a high chew so I can regulate my sugar levels. I spiked out a little bit there. I apologize, but this stuff makes me angry, y'all. I apologize. I did have a little bit of a spike out there. Let me get a high chew. Maybe that'll help me regulate my sugar level. Dear God. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me move on. In our last sugar spiky story, mm. Mm. Whew. Mm. I am feverishly eating this piece of high chew to regulate my sugar level, y'all. Mm. You better tell the people, Chimera. Hmm. Mm. And that's the same cop city funded by the city of Atlanta and the Black Atlanta City Council. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, Kawale. I'm glad you came in now, Kawale, and not a few minutes ago. I was spiking out. I had a whole spike out there, y'all. I apologize. I had a whole goddamn spike out. Mm. I be trying not to spike out, y'all. I be trying so hard. But it just pisses me off. That was a good piece of hot chew. I ain't gonna even lie. But how you doing today, Kawale? All right. Let me get to this story. The city of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, will pay $550,000 to settle a lawsuit by a homeless black man falsely arrested and jailed for 31 days for crimes he didn't commit. The ACLU of Rhode Island last week announced the settlement on behalf of Woonsocket resident Mac Blackie, who was twice arrested and detained for breaking and entering into an apartment on the strength of police reports and arrest warrants that his lawyers say purposely misidentified him. His jail stay was protracted due to his inability to afford the $100 cash bond on a $1,000 bail fee. In August 2022, the Woonsocket apartment of William Grover and Veronica Higby was broken into. Grover told an investigating police officer that the individual who had entered his home was known to him as quote black, end of quote, and that if he saw him again, he'd be able to identify him, according to the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court in Rhode Island in October of last year. A week later, then Detective Timothy Hammond, who you see on the right, a 15-year veteran of Woonsocket police, followed up asking Grover multiple times if Mac Blackie was the perpetrator. Grover, who knew both the person named Black, and Mac Blackie from the neighborhood, explicitly stated that it was not Mac Blackie and described the differences in physical characteristics of the two men. Blackie is shorter, huskier, and has better teeth than the person known as Black, Grover told the officer, according to the complaint. Officer Hammond then failed to schedule a promised photo lineup so Grover would be able to identify this person named Black. Instead, Officer Hammond falsely wrote in his witness statement that, quote, Grover positively identified the suspect male as being Mac Blackie, end of quote. He also later falsely stated in his application for an arrest warrant that Grover told another Woonsocket police officer that Mac Blackie broke into the apartment. Now, Mac Blackie, who is a Liberian immigrant, and had fallen on hard times during the pandemic after losing his job working on a delivery truck for a food distributor, he was on his way to get a free meal at a city park when he was arrested. He was arrested on August 30th, 2022, held in the city police station overnight, and the next morning was taken to court where he collapsed due to complications from alcohol withdrawal. After being hospitalized for several days, he was released, got sober, and began looking for work and a permanent place to live. A few months later, he was rearrested and charged with felony breaking and entering and assault based on the same August 22 incident. Officer Hammond still had not known Mr. Grover or Miss Higby, had not shown, Mr. Grover or Miss Higby, who lived in the apartment, a photo of the man he had arrested for breaking into their apartment. Because Mr. Blackie was on probation at the time, he was incarcerated for 18 days without bail as a probation violator. When bail was finally set, he could not afford the $100 required for release, resulting in his continued incarceration for an extra 13 days until an employee of a nonprofit organization serving food insecure people, where he volunteered, posted the money for his bail. In February of 2023, at a pretrial conference for the criminal case, Grover and Higby saw Mr. Blackie in the courthouse hallway. They immediately realized that Officer Hammond and the Woonsocket police had arrested the wrong man. Miss Higby said after spotting Mac, quote, "That's not him. I am so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. This was never you," end of quote. The couple informed the prosecutor, and the charges against Mac Blackie were dropped the same day. Officer Hammond was later suspended for 10 days and demoted to patrol officer for, quote, failing to follow standard investigative procedures, end of quote. And that's according to Woonsocket Police. Now, my question is, Woonsocket Police, he went from investigator back to patrol officer, but somebody who can't get it right as an investigator and is probably profiling a homeless person shouldn't be a patrol officer either, because they're going to be out there on the streets arresting people for no fucking reason. Let me continue. Officer Hammond did accept responsibilities for his actions, but remained active on the police force. Now, there was a lawsuit filed against Officer Hammond and the city of Woonsocket, and that lawsuit argued that the actions taken against Mac Blackie violated his constitutional right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures, and constituted false arrest and imprisonment and malicious prosecution. It sought a jury trial to compensate him for loss of liberty, pain and suffering, emotional distress, financial harm, and legal expenses. It was filed by the ACLU. The good news is he won, and he won $550,000. Did. Now, I think I had an update on Officer Hammond. Hold on. I think I had an update that he had been fired. Hold on. Nope. Hammond is still employed by he's still employed by Woonsocket Police Department. He just got demoted to patrol officer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. Anyway, let's move on as we stanky leg out of the sugar spike segment and deeper into the dossier. So it's being said that your president is seriously considering giving a pardon to Sean Combs prior to sentencing. Mm-hmm. And that's according to a source from the Trump administration. They said he's been very open and public about giving a pardon to Sean Combs after he was found partially guilty of at his trial for racketeering, sex trafficking, and prostitution. This is happening now. Y'all know Sean Combs and his legal team said that they would put $50 up, $50 million up if he was allowed to be freed before sentencing. And they had this whole package deal where he would offer $50 million and stuff like that, and would only travel to New York and Miami and all this kind of stuff. Baby, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, don't be surprised if in the coming days and or weeks, your president has decided that he's going to pardon Donald John. We're not surprised. We're not surprised at all. Moving on. So, Gilbert Arenas has been arrested. Yep. He was arrested today, this afternoon, actually, in connection with a federal indictment that alleges that he hosted illegal high-stakes poker games at his mansion in Encino, California, according to a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office of Central California. He is officially charged with one count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, one count of operating an illegal gambling business, and one count of making false statements to federal investigators. He is scheduled to make his first court appearance and be arraigned in U.S. District Court this afternoon in Los Angeles. Yevgeny Gershman, a suspected high-level member of an Israeli organized crime group, and several other associates also were indicted and arrested on connection with the alleged illegal business, which prosecutors say operated from September 2021 to July 2022. According to the indictment, Gilbert Arenas rented out his Encino house, and one of his associates staged the mansion for the poker games, recruited co-conspirators to host, and collected rent from the co-conspirators on Gilbert Arenas' behalf. The indictment alleges that Gershman and the other defendants ran illegal, quote, pot limit Omaha poker games, end of quote, and among others that collected a cut from each pot contested. Prosecutors say the group hired chefs, valets, and armed security guards to staff the games, as well as young women who served drinks, provided massages, and offered companionship to the poker players in exchange for tips, and that the co-conspirators took a cut of the servers' tips from the games. It was unclear as of today who the players in the games were. The U.S. Attorney's Office declined further comment. If convicted, Gilbert Arenas and the other defendants would face a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison for each count. Gilbert, listen, I don't know what to tell you, sir. Y'all running whole ass gambling rings. Hey, Brittany, Janae. Child, Mary, you heard it too. Y'all got a whole situation going on. Now, look who decided to roll up in here from the ghetto. Talking about the ghetto. The ghetto. Hey, Aquarius goddess. Listen. I believe all parts of this. Now, I wonder what this means for Gilbert Arenas and his business ventures. If you don't know, Gilbert Arenas has one of the top rated podcasts in America. Has one of the top rated podcasts in America. It's called Gil's Arena, and it is one. Let me see where it's rated. Top podcasts. All right, in 2025. See if it's in the top 20. but it's higher than, it's up there with like Joe Rogan and them. It's higher than anything Shannon Sharpe got going on. It's higher than all of these. Listen, his podcast is one of the top one. The man makes tens of millions of dollars. Podcasting. I'm being honest with you. So what I'm saying is, I wonder what him being arrested is going to do in terms of his advertising and endorsements and all of that other situation that he has going on. I just wonder. Sir, you now, he got the money to get out of jail. I ain't worried about that. If he's running covert illegal gambling rings. They got chefs and valets and girls to massage them and all kinds of stuff. He getting to cut off the top and stop. Child. He is very ignorant and dumb. He is. He is. He is. I'm just saying. But listen, Gilbert Arenas, you got enough money to afford the best lawyers on earth. Now, you over there in California, they don't take too kindly to this. I hope you got a real good attorney. And I know you do, but baby, I don't. California don't want you doing all of this gambling and stuff, and they don't get they cut. Now, one thing California is about, getting that money. I don't know what to tell you, sir. Go with God. In other people doing podcasts and doing bad things, yeah, he's been fired. Has. Y'all boo thing, Uncle Shay, Shannon Sharpe, the one who wants to dip his spoon into mayonnaise sugar bowls. He wants to dip his spoon into jars of mayonnaise all of the time to hide the fact that he has key card access to the Rainbow Coalition compound, right? Well, he ain't got no job, not down to the ESPN no more. They fired him. He's been fired. This is right. You know, what was that, last week where he settled with that woman and settled for $23 million? Paid that woman all that money. Well, sir, I guess you thought you was just gonna quickly re-up on that. Well, that re-up won't be coming from ESPN. They fired you. And I'm sure there was no settlement, no severance. I'm sure they found a morality clause with which to void your contract. Thank you for coming. Please drive safely. Gone. It's usually the ones that's out here acting like they got all of this great advice and you need to listen to me and y'all young bucks ain't doing the things right. Y'all got to be on the straight and narrow, right? Because you ain't shit and you ain't better than none of them. Listen, I don't take no advice, not from none of these people coming out the goddamn NFL. You don't believe that shit? Right. Fired on your day off because he's sure been off. He done had a lot of days off. But we knew, listen, we knew good and hell well when you decided to take this break from ESPN, you were never coming back. You're a little too dark skinned, bruh. You're a little too thick tongued, bruh. Nah, bruh. I hope it was worth it. So you should have just lived in your truth, and you probably could have still been successful, still making the money and all of that stuff. But instead of living in your truth and letting the people know you have Rainbow Coalition compound key card access, you wanted to dip your spoon into mayonnaise jars. You wanted you a mayonnaise mama. I hope it was worth it. I hope you saved your money, honey. Mm. Um, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Mm. White woman over there, she's on Rodeo Drive right now, living her best life, shopping and all of that with all your coins. I'm sure you broke Miss Hollywood off. You broke her off a few coins too. She around there laughing at you and spending the coins too. Because Miss Hollywood said, had you just lived in your truth with her and kept her by your side, you wouldn't have had to deal with this fuck shit. But you wanted to be over there with the mayonnaise mamas. And now here we are. Uh-huh. I don't know what to tell you. Now, prepare. Now, if ESPN is dropping you like a bad habit, I'm sure endorsements and advertising contracts down to the podcasts are also drying up. Hmm. Endorsement deals and advertising contracts for this podcast, baby, listen, those are drying up as well. We live in Trump's America. Sorry. The mayonnaise mama is out there, buying her, you know, Givenchy and Chanel, all kinds of stuff. She's here for all of it. She's in she's like what, 24, 25. Oh, mama thinks she's set. Now I fully expect her to run through that 25, 23 million in the next 2 or 3 years. She gonna run through all of that real quick. She young and dumb. So I expect her to run through that money real fast. But Shannon, that's kind of it for you, Shannon. The party's over. There'll be no reclamation here, Shannon. There are enough dumb, thick-tongued, wanna be somebody's uncle NFL players out there where they can get them and pay them the same amount of money. Hmm. I'm just saying. So, well, yeah, we know he postponed the tour with Chad Ochocinco. Now, as much as Shannon is probably fighting the air right now, Chad Ochocinco got to be weak right now, honey. Baby, big dick ass Chad Ochocinco is fighting the air for real. He is weak right now, baby. And I don't blame him. I'll be hot as fuck. I'll be mad as fuck. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'll be mad as fuck if I'm Chad Ochocinco. Now, let's be clear, Chad Ochocinco. You got your own shit going on over there. You got enough people that if they wanted to come out of hiding and tell all of the things that you did to them, there'd be no shortage of women to do that. Right? He better start his own OnlyFans. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Y'all might want to go over there and see what he got going on. I don't know. Child. Now he had to interview his brother because his interviews are dried up. Baby, listen. You already got shadow banned on YouTube because YouTube is not promoting your shit. So YouTube done already shadow banned you, honey. Have. I'm just saying. Child. I don't know if Chad is not that big. Chad, listen, I've met Chad. I've sat in rooms with him. I've drank with him. I met Chad Ochocinco several times. He ain't that big in terms of stature. He ain't that big. And Shannon Sharpe is much bigger than him. Okay, he'll be out of his weight class with Shannon. Listen, Don't look for us to feel bad for you. Do not look for us to circle the wagons, all in solidarity and support for you, Shannon. We have nothing. Go on over there to the mayonnaise mamas. Maybe they can support you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, sir. Oh, well, go with God. Anyway, speaking of people trying to hide the fact that they have keycard access down to the Rainbow Coalition compound, child. Well, that's the same thing Miss Hollywood said. Baby, I was over here on your side on the front row down to the basketball games and shit, styling you, dressing you. We was a cute, happy couple, and then you decided to throw me to the curb because you got a little more notoriety and shit. And now you over there with the mayonnaise mamas, and now here we are. Child. Yeah, Chad will be okay now. Chad got a lot of money. He's really diversified his money, and so he ain't worried. He'll be all right. Listen, they're alleging that Mia and Bobby Valentino is dating. Now, listen, Mia, this does not help out the fact that when you first got on Potomac, people were saying that you was a whole ass man. Remember that was a whole thing? That Mia was a man or she was a trans woman. Remember that was a whole thing when she first got on Potomac. This ain't helping your case, the fact that you with Bobby Valentino, because we know Bobby Valentino likes titties on the top and dick at the bottom. Titties on the top and dick at the bottom. We already know that about Miss Bobby. Do we believe no parts of Bobby dipping his spoon into your sugar bowl? Baby, when Mia puts on that strap on, the rainbow colored strap on, and get all the way down to the blue and the purple on the strap on, do you hear me? Mama does the gets that rainbow dildo and puts it in her strap on and gets all the way down to the color blue and purple. Miss Bobby V, honey. Miss Bobby V don't play around. Baby, that booty hole is open, okay? That booty hole is whistling Dixie. I wish I was in Dixie. Oh, hey, oh, hey. That's what that booty hole is whistling right now. It's whistling Dixie. Bobby, you ain't fooling nobody. Baby, that hole is bust open. Yes, quintessential. Hey, quintessential. Quintessential. The colored dildo that the studs like to use. They love the little colored one because then they can see how far you can get down. Taste the rainbow. I'm just saying. Y'all was over here fighting to have Mia on the show. I never liked that bitch. From the first season she was on that. What was that, season 5? Or was that season 6? Whatever season she came on. I think it was season 6 was her first season. Because Wendy's first season was season 5, and I don't think her and Wendy came on together. Did Wendy and Mia come on the same season? I'm just saying. Child, that booty hole is whistling Dixie. Child. That booty hole over there doing whistle while you twerk. Mm-hmm. That booty hole over there doing the whistle while you twerk, honey. That's why he be over there twerking so that booty hole can whistle. Girl, boom. Girl, boom. Don't look at me, Harold. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay? I ain't got shit to do with it. Fuck that bitch, Bobby Valentino. He ain't shit. Okay, so if they didn't come on the same season, then that means Mia came season 6. Because I know Wendy came Monique's last season, which was season 5. So that means Mia came season 6. Okay. Hmm. Okay, thank you, Chef Don Don. Baby Brittany Janae, I ain't got nothing to do with that young man's booty hole. Okay, child. Mia ain't got no key card access over here. She says she have fallopian tubes, okay? She says she has fallopian tubes. Now I can't say she says she got a cooter because you could be a trans woman and still have a cooter if you're post-op. But you can't have fallopian tubes if you know you're a trans woman. You just don't. She say she have fallopian tubes. She say she pushed them kids out and she got fallopian tubes. So she don't have no key card access to the Rainbow Coalition compound. Not unless she over there in the B corridor. You think she over there in the B corridor? I don't think she over there in the B corridor. I don't think she have key card access. But we knew Miss Bobby V got a whole penthouse suite in the Rainbow Coalition compound. Baby, stop playing with us, Bobby Valentino, Wendy. Y'all ain't serious. Y'all ain't dating. She was just the other day taking pictures hugged up with Gordon Gartrell and they kids. Wasn't her and Gordon Gartrell just hugged up the other day taking pictures with the children? I'm just saying, Bobby Valentino, I think he's in his 40s at this point. She might love a short man, but she ain't in love with no Bobby Valentino. And Bobby Valentino say Show ain't in love with her. He like titties on the top and dick at the bottom. Titties on the top and dick at the bottom. Ow. He sure ain't got no money like that. And you know Mia loves her some money. Yeah, he ain't got enough money for Mia. I'm sorry. Yeah, he ain't got enough money for her. Mm-mm. 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 Not tubes attached to her balls. You know what? I'm not doing it. So they was Felicia. Thank you. She was just hugged up with Gordon Gartrell and the kids the other day. And that was all over social media. Now all of a sudden you hugged up. Baby, you're a whole ass whore. You're a common tramp. You're a trollop, a Jezebel, a whore, a tramp. I'm just saying. Don't let me do you like Kenya from Noah's Ark. She said you're a punk, a sissy, a pretend mom. That's what they said about you, Bobby Valentino. That you're a punk, a sissy, a pretend mom. So here's a pretend punch. Shout out to Kenya from from Noah's Ark. Girl, Kenya. Girl. Is Mia bleaching, child? I don't know. You never can tell with Mia. You never can. The woman's whole life is fraudulent. Okay, her whole life is fake. Baby, I don't know. Strumpet, she all of them things, honey. Child. But you know, Mia, they were saying you was a whole ass trans woman when you first came on this show. I'm just saying. This ain't helping the rumors, Mia. You being with Bobby Valentino, that don't help your cause. Not with his broke ass. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. You needed some booty hole to bang out? I'm just saying. Not Bobby Valentino booty hole, though. Because, girl, that booty hole is open, girl. You don't want it just hanging open like that, honey. Just any old thing fall up out of there. Just falling up out of there. Girl, we got to move on. We've been on here almost 2 hours. In our last story of the day, thank you, sweet 7-pound, 3-ounce baby Jesus. Christopher Maurice is in the news. Now, Christopher Maurice is being sued. A swimwear company based out of Miami called Breezy Swimwear is suing Chris Brown and Live Nation. Um, they're accusing them of committing trademark infringement. Now, Breezy Swimwear claims they've owned the Breezy trademark since 2018 and even used the term Breezy Bowl to promote the brand as far back as 2023. And now they're suing them over Christopher Maurice's Breezy Bowl XX tour. Attorney John Hoover for the Breezy Swimwear Company said, quote, celebrities do not get to overwrite small business names just because they are famous. Breezy Swimwear coined Breezy Bowl here in Miami. We are simply asking the court to protect that homegrown brand and end the confusion. End of quote. Now, Breezy Swimwear in their lawsuit says that people have been DMing them about the Breezy Bowl events. They submitted screenshots as a part of the lawsuit of direct messages that they have allegedly received on social media with fans asking whether Chris Brown will be attending their quote Breezy Bowl end of quote events. The brand markets itself as being centered around female empowerment and argues an association with Christopher Maurice would harm their reputation because we know he's the whole ass woman beater. Is the man is violent. Baby, I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But Breezy Bowl 20 or XX, Breezy Bowl 20, is supposed to be Christopher Maurice celebrating 20 years of his self-titled debut album. Listen, run them people their money, Chris. Christopher Maurice. Every time we look up, you either get arrested, you got another lawsuit, sir. You're a whole pariah at this point. Hey, Dean. Baby, I don't know if that's the tour he's on or not. I don't know. Janae, you asking the wrong one. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I have no idea. I don't be down there to the Christopher Maurice concerts. Don't. He do have the devil dick, from what they say, honey. Dick of death, cock of doom. I'm just saying. I ain't got nothing to do. Chris, just change the name or pay them people their money. If you pay them enough money, they'll shut up. Will. I promise you they will. If you write them a good enough check, just make sure the wire transfer go through. Make sure that once the wire transfer go through, Christopher Maurice, they'll leave you alone. They will. Anyway, we about to get out of here, y'all. Listen, that's the dossier for today. Did y'all enjoy yourselves today? Because if you didn't enjoy yourself, I certainly enjoyed myself. Even if you didn't enjoy yourself, I enjoyed myself. Okay. An awesome time was had by all. A phenomenal time was had by all. A phenomenal time. Put a Shondo in the chat if you enjoyed yourselves. Not if living life on the edge was a purse. Y'all know what. Anyway, y'all, we got a whole week's worth of programming. For those of you all who want to know, yes, Ty is here in town. And so me and Ty will be hanging out. Maybe I can get him to come on for Silly Saturday and do a live Silly Saturday or something. We'll figure it out. Or he might just want to hang out. So if he wants to hang out, then I'll hang out with him, do a live with him on Saturday. And then we'll do Silly Saturday on Sunday or something like that. Either way, I'm gonna be live Saturday. Either it's gonna be Silly Saturday or I'll be hanging out with him, and maybe we'll just go live and hang out and shoot the shit while he's here in town. But he just got here this afternoon, and we'll be hanging out this weekend, having fun and all of that good stuff. All right. Anyway, so lay around for that. Anyway, as I always say, y'all, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged and much appreciated. Listen, y'all. We're here to do we're here to do the Lord's work. We'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. No out of town trips planned. Nothing planned. We'll be over here having fun, making it do what it do. Yeah. Anyway, is Really Be going? I don't think Really Be's going live. I think she told me she wasn't going live when I talked to her earlier. Did she say, is she live? If she was, she would already be live. And nothing came across my screen, so I think she's fine. I don't think she's going live. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed today. Oh, Ronald or somebody be nice to me. Ronald wanted me to clip that portion of the live where I talked about the analogy with the boxing and the MMA fighting. I'm gonna try to clip it and so that I can post it maybe as a short or something, or post it on social media. But if somebody wants to be nice and do it for me and send it to me, that'd be really nice. So I don't have to do all that work. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. I love y'all. I will catch y'all later.